Hey everybody, time to tell the third time I needed a gun. Though there was another time at 18. But anyway, the first one's out. People liked it a lot. I just filmed the second one. Here's the third time. So I am still in Atlanta, Georgia at this time. It is probably very end of May 2020 and or June, if you remember what was going on at that time. It was the beginning of riot season. Remember peace and love when everyone started breaking into stores, burning them down, murdering people, and everyone got away with that? It was almost like some of those people were paid in 3 installments from a certain Nazi source. But anyway, let's tell you about the third time I really needed a gun. So, that was all starting. Things were getting real spicy, real fast, if you remember living through that. In that house, I was basically always carrying a pistol around anyway. Things were really getting bad, where it's like, what if a whole bunch start walking down my street? Everyone in America was having to think about that at that time. Dangerous felons, as they all turned out to be mostly. So I was tending to stay up and sit in a recliner, and so late at night I had just literally started to bring down a shotgun with me, which I am glad of, because just before 1 a.m. There was, I lived at a dead-end street cul-de-sac. Okay, so pretty near the cul-de-sac. Kind of down-angled, the house I lived at, and then a cul-de-sac. I'm in my recliner right here by the front door-ish area, and a car zooms by like, 80 plus miles an hour. Okay? So, fuck, what is this? Grab said shoddy and go to see. I mean, that is not normal. Go on the front porch. This car is now screeching, sliding, and then hitting the driveway to the very one at the end of the street at the cul-de-sac. Boom. I mean, huge screech, tire goes flat. I mean, long skid marks, smoke, the whole thing. So, then these two guys in this SUV are trying to back up and then exit the street. So it's like, okay, what happened here? Probably they robbed someone, stole something, and were just hastily speeding away from the scene, and they turned down the wrong street. Is most likely that would happen. Or they broke in to, stores to steal stuff and all the bullshit that was going on at that time. Hopefully we get this all back. So they're now trying to go, and one of the tires is obviously flattening, and their car was sputtering a bit, kind of thing. SUV taken off. I see the driver, two guys, big driver, I think it was a Hispanic guy. I told the story earlier. And at the time, he turns his head out the window and just stares at me. Now, I don't aim at him. I'm in my property. I got shotgun hanging down my right side on my property, on the front porch, totally legal. Getting in the South, totally legal. And I just look at him, and he looks at me, and I just fucking look at him, and they try to take back off up the road. Okay, so go in the house, lock the door, 911 call. Decide to run upstairs to be doing the 911 call, and pull up the window, my bedroom door, to see out on the street. So I'm telling 911 what's going on. Hurry up, get out here. I don't know if the car's mobile enough for them to get out, whatever. So actually fairly quick response time. I'm looking out the window on the phone with 911. And I see one of the passenger guy is running down the street. I see him running to my left, down the street, down the hill. And I had literally, I think like 1 or 2 days before, and no, I'm not pimping Olight like every other YouTuber, but I had just, because things were getting so spicy, I'm like, man, I need a weapon mounted light. I need like a powerful hand-to-hand light. Warrior X Pro, I think it is, 1,000 lumens, good throw, high candela kind of thing. Which you see a video of me later testing at cemetery, because I would do walks during lockdowns late at night, walking a cemetery when it was cooler, because I have lupus and the heat and the sun is no good in the day for me, so going at some walks at night. Anyway, I do have a review video on that so you can see what I'm talking about. I put this on him, I go, hey, what are you doing? He sees the light, and then he keeps running, and he jets off left into the woods to the house across my street, between the houses, past the bushes, into the woods. So I'm telling 911 all this. So now I'm like, fuck. So now I put on my pistol with the weapon mounted light holster I just got and did reviews on. I think it's the one I'm still using now, with the DCC clips next to the bed. Throw it on and getting ready. And now I hear that police are showing up. And then eventually I see lights. So I think I don't know if a car partially started to come down. So I go out there, I flash the cop down, and like, hey, one went up there in the vehicle, one down there. He's like, yeah, we got one in the vehicle. Where'd the other guy go? I'm like, across, ran into the woods. So he comes down. I step out to talk to him. I said, just so you know, I'm armed. He's like, okay, cool. I'm like, he ran down there. I'm the one who called. You know, it's probably still on the phone, so it's obvious kind of thing. And so I'm talking to him a minute, and there's like 2 other cars now arriving, and they're down there. Like, we got one on the end. And I don't know if he told me right away or after. Yeah, that guy has a warrant out. So, I mean, it's a career criminal, like they usually are, getting released by Soros appointed prosecutors and, mayors and the literal, like when a literal Nazi that said he would destroy America, that shorted UK, became a billionaire and pays for the rioters. In contracts, 3 payments, Bondi, call me. The first few, the ones before this, contracts, and who he was paying for bricks at every corner to throw bricks. Like, people don't think. So anyway, so I think it was a black cop, and the only reason I'm saying it because of everything that was at the time. So at the time, I literally, and then they're down there, and they tell me we got one, we're detaining one down there, has a warrant out for his arrest. Cool. Okay. So he's like, okay, he went out there. I'm like, yeah. And he starts to walk out there, and I'm like, yo, man, it's real dark. You probably should wait for backup before you're searching. Like, I'll come with you if you want. He's like, oh, yeah. Like, I mean, literally had someone have the knife. It could be anywhere. I mean, you're searching here with a light. A guy with a knife stabs you behind the bush or a tree or whatever. You can't search woods with one dude. That is not safe. Okay. Cop, no cop. That is not safe. So he's waiting with me, and I was hoping, like, you want to call up there and get one of them down here. Like, hey, at least there's 2. Maybe you have me trail behind. I got the light. Like, he's like, man, your light's way more powerful than mine. I'm like, yeah, I just got it because of all this shit. So at least I'm keeping throw on there and kind of like looking. So that's it. I think that they arrested that guy. They never got the one. Eventually, another one came down. So I think I made a video, and not that it matters. Skin color doesn't matter, obviously, right? But at the time, maybe the department handled things kind of the best PC way to keep things stable. Like, there was literally, I think, a white cop, a Hispanic cop, and a black cop that responded. I made some video thanks to the cops that responded a long time ago. And they were all professional, and they were all helpful, and they were all cool, and no one treated me like shit. Even though I'm like, man, I'm carrying, but I got this light. I can help you out kind of thing. Like, okay, I'm just going to stand by the car on my side between his car and the door behind the engine block, trying to get the cop to think some tactics too, because you don't know. But anyway, I think they made the one arrest, and I guess the other one got away. And that's the story of when things are getting spicy. Not only is it your CCW pistol, but, you got to have a long gun or 2 or a 10 for your neighbors to be able to, if things start getting really bad like they were. Now, obviously, I wasn't in the worst area. I was literally almost an hour outside Atlanta, like 45 minutes to an hour outside. So I wasn't, one of the many areas absolutely destroyed like Atlanta, where quite a few, like, got, new business owners living the American dream, straight from Africa, their clothing store burned down, murdered, shot in the head. All that happens, everyone forgets about it. The security guards that were shot in the head, everyone forgets about it. The security guard, the white van that was carrying everyone around, who had the money for all the white vans that were transporting the worst of the worst to do these kinds of things and escaping them out of there. Remember the white van pulled up, shot that other, black security guard that was like 65, 67 years old, had like 14 grandkids, just taken away from his families. So I, didn't raise, but I let him know this is not the street you want to be on. So at least they try to fucking take off spinning the rim, and it got one of them arrested, at least, so it stopped their spree. Yeah, so, ABCs, always be carrying. Things getting spicy. Carry that pistol around your house. Now, I don't do it all the time. I live in a nicer area now, and I should, but usually Friday or Saturday nights I will if I'm hanging out to go eat downstairs or watch UFC on the back porch or something. But always be carrying. Always have a pistol and a long gun, and have people that are well trained and able to handle your business, so you can keep you, yourself, your family, your neighbors love one another, brother. Because it's good versus evil. It's not melatonin. Like it's these are topics that I'm sure someone will jump on me for something, but it's evildoers, right? So evildoers doing evil stuff, they shouldn't be getting released with no bond. They all should be prosecuted. All the judges that should be indicted. They should be impeached. Once they're impeached, the family should be able to sue. When you let a rapist out and then he rapes a girl a few days later, or little kid a few days later, or murders someone, the family should be able to sue. So all these bullshit judges and prosecutors need to fucking go to prison for the gross miscarriage of justice, for against humanity, for crimes and misdemeanors, impeached, and everything that you can possibly do. Pam Bondi, Leo Terrell, and hopefully by the time this airs. So there is the third story of when I really felt like I needed a firearm, and I'm glad I had a longish gun next to me. So anyway, guys, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm sure people will badmouth this, badmouth that. When things happen in the moment, you don't get a quarterback them later, okay? When things happen in the moment, you have to thought process and handle things as quickly, as safely, as best as possible. Powerful light did come in handy, just like in the earlier. Having night sights came in handy in the earlier story number 2. So things to keep in mind. And these are just the stories of the times that I felt like I really needed one to be able to keep myself and the people around me safe. And maybe turning when the car was crashed, I turned the light on and I was like, hey, a big throw light. Lights are important. Home lighting is important and all that. Thanks, everyone. Kaboom.